Hi, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. A great permaculture garden can provide food year round. Let's look at the abundance in my garden and see what we can harvest. Starting in my kitchen garden, I've got my 4-year-old citrus trees just starting to really produce well. This is my lemon tree. The lemons are just about to start to ripen. The mandarin tree, it's an imperial mandarin, has been in for 2.5 years, and this is the first year that it's producing these beautiful fruits. Rhubarb's always a staple in my kitchen. I've got several plants, quite a few in my kitchen garden and in my food forest swale, and I always seem to manage to grab some rhubarb any time of year. Calendula seems to flower all year round in my garden, and combined with some lemon myrtle, some citrus and lemon balm makes a really delicious tea. In the cool of winter, Swiss chard looks beautiful and just grows prolifically. I've always got some to add to my morning omelettes or any meal where I need some greens. The Swiss chard really grows with little effort. It self-seeds and just grows really well right through winter. All I need to do is make sure that it's got adequate light. I usually just have to do a chop and drop on all these borage plants that seem to want to rob the sunshine. So I just cut those off and lay that down on the ground to mulch the whole garden. The herb garden is right outside the kitchen door, so simple to grab some herbs for the kitchen. Although fairly dormant at the moment, there's still plenty to grab for stews and soups. We've got some oregano, some thyme, rosemary and parsley, to name a few. Up here now in my winter garden, let's have a look and see what's growing well. This is a purple Vienna kohlrabi, which is really starting to look beautiful. Won't be too far off harvesting this one. These are some chogia beetroot. I have harvested one from this group already and they've been growing really well since. This one's nearly ready for harvest, which will leave the other two to grow on. And these are a red variety beetroot. These ones are a chogia beetroot. Nice to provide some flowers for the bees at this time of year. Now this is a daikon radish that's starting to flower, so I'll be harvesting that one today, and because I think they go a little bit bitter once they do kick into flowering, so I'll make sure I grab that one. This daikon here is yet to get the flower head going, so I can leave that one a little bit longer. I've got lots of little beetroots all around. Some more Swiss chard, certainly don't go short of that. In the cool of winter, all my kale just seem to love it. I've got various varieties from the curly leaf kale. This one is a Tuscan kale. My red Russian is looking beautiful. This tatsoi plant is about to go to flower. The flowers are edible and you can eat them like that, but I prefer to harvest them when they're a bit younger, and I'll be grabbing this one for a meal very soon. The broccoli varieties I'm growing are Italian sprouting broccoli, which this one is. I have taken the central head, and I have heard if you cross that, you will get more heads growing from that central stalk. I've got a lot of these small little sprouts coming along, so they're a little way off being harvested. I have harvested from this plant a lot earlier than the other plant, so these broccoli sprouts are ready to go. This broccoli head is about to get some open flowers, so I'll need to grab that. I prefer to have the heads when the flowers are fairly closed. Over here, a bit more of the sprouting broccoli. And again, I've taken the central head off that one, but there's lots of young plants. This broccoli will just keep giving for some time. In the cauliflower department, I've got some green Macerata variety cauliflowers starting to head up beautifully. This one is only just starting to kick in. This one here looks about perfect, and I think I will harvest that one today. I've got a white cauliflower, which that one's getting quite large. Again, that one might be good to head off to the kitchen. Right next to it, I've got another cauliflower head forming, and right here I've got 2 more, but they're coming along really well. I do have various aged cauliflower, so I hope to have more coming along as the season progresses. We've had such a mild winter to date that I've still got some chilies on some chili plants here that haven't succumbed to the cold as yet. And unbelievably, I've still got some eggplants on these plants that haven't quite succumbed to the cold as yet. This carrot patch has now been in the ground for about 7 months, and I'm just leaving the carrots in the ground, although some are succumbing to rodents. But on the whole, they keep really well in the ground over winter. So when I need a carrot, I'll just pop out and pull some out. Just along from my older bed is my young carrots, which I haven't thinned as yet. I want them to get a little bit larger, so they're actually a meal in themselves. And I tend to just pull these larger carrots out. See, if I had a few of those, that would form a meal. But I don't like to thin them when they're really small, because you're not really getting anything much from that. And I do find that these carrots all just find their way and start to get larger at different times. So it extends your harvest. Right next to them, I've got some parsnip starting to grow well. This capsicum plant also doesn't know that it's winter at the moment. Tiny little capsicum, but I'm going to try and leave these plants in the ground and see if we can overwinter them, and hopefully come spring they'll kick into life again. This cabbage is just a mini variety cabbage, and it's really firm to touch. I think that one's probably just about ready to go. Still a bit early for some of my other varieties of cabbage, but you don't need them all coming on at once. The celery is slowly coming along, as is the fennel. Usually by this time of the year, I've had plenty of frosts and the nasturtium have been killed off. But this year, they're still going strong, and I think I'm going to have to come in here and actually clear them because they're getting huge. Although some of my rocket has started to flower and will soon go to seed, there's still an abundance that is the perfect size for harvesting and adding to a mixed salad. Along with the rocket, I've got a few different varieties of lettuce that I can harvest for my mixed salads, along with plenty of wild greens. These are a edible weed, so you know that could go in a salad mix as well. This leek looks like it's just about ready to harvest. I like to actually have a leek and cauliflower mash, so it's really good when we can get the timing of both of those together. Mizuna adds a nice peppery flavour to a salad, or it's great for a stir fry as well. And mustard leaves certainly add a punch to salads and stir fries also. So now that we've had a good look around, I'm just going to grab a few things and take it to the kitchen. just beautiful. And last on my list is a few carrots. Perfect storage in the ground. It may be winter, but my harvest basket is once again full. My permaculture garden has provided me with abundance once more.